When you have taken residence in a city that you don't feel is your city, it can feel really painful. You may be wondering, how long do you stay in this city? If you're really not liking it, it can feel like you've been transplanted, like you're a hair follicle on a head, and the head is like, nope, don't want you. And you may be wondering, is it a matter of time before it takes and before I feel like I'm integrated and a part of this place? Or is it simply going to be rejection after rejection, or at least the feeling of it? What I want you to do is go ahead and look at my video, Hot versus Cold Climate Cultures, because that's a video that breaks down a reason why you may be acclimated, for better or worse, to a place. What I also want you to do is stop focusing on doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity. And while I do think it's good to be a little crazy, don't be so crazy that you are putting yourself in emotionally distressing situations socially. So let's say that you have gone to this meetup or this friend group and you consistently feel bad about yourself while you're there or after the fact. And you keep putting yourself in the situation because you think it's personal growth, or you really have in your head, okay, I want to be connected, and these are the people. What if they're not? I would say there are also groups of people in a place that maybe also are on the fringes of society. In school, we think of different groups. You have the jocks, you have the band geeks, you have the popular kids, you have the punk kids, and you're multifaceted. And it's possible that maybe you could plug into a bunch of different groups. This can be easier, particularly if you have, let's say, a best friend, a significant other, where you feel a lot of that closeness. And it's more of a matter of having a different variety of groups that you are able to plug into and get something from and give something to, right? Your presence is a gift. Be really aware of how you feel. And it's important to discern, are you feeling like you're not fitting into a group because there's blatant disregard for how you show up? Is there like a dislike? Are you finding that you're rubbing people the wrong way? Or is it simply a nothingness where you fit in but you're invisible? Or, I mean, the best case scenario is that you're actually celebrated. People are excited to see you. However, that can take time. So, in case you're wondering, how long should I stay in this place? My recommendation is at least 1 calendar year. It can even take up to 2 years. I would say don't decide until you're at that year mark. And this is with consistent iteration, getting out there, going to at least one social event every week. I would say two. Then you have 100 data points to work with. And these acquaintances can become better friendships, more close friendships over time. I recently read the book Plays Well with Others by Eric Barker. And I believe the stat was somewhere around, to become friends with someone, you need to have something like 70 touch points. That's 70. That could be when you see them in group settings. And I'm sure there are probably more points involved when you meet up with them one-on-one. I'd like you to think of meeting up in group situations as an opportunity to connect deeply with at least one person, and then make it your goal to deepen that friendship and to exchange information and get to know that person on a deeper level. Because when you feel like you have a full cup with a few close relationships where you can confide in them, they're there for you and vice versa. You're able to go on activities together. You can be spontaneous, invite them out. Then you will have more of a full cup when you're going out to these events. And as you can tell, I have an event orientation. I do believe that meetups and events are great ways to get a vibe check, because I know that there's a lot of emphasis these days on Bumble BFF and various online sources. And sure, you could go that route. However, even when I've been on Bumble BFF, I typically will host a brunch or a gathering because I want to get a feel for people. I want a first impression in person. And I have found that that helps me do it. So, another thing is, if you're not finding that your people, the people that feel like your people, that are comfortable to be around, are in your city, maybe it's time for you to be in a leadership role in terms of creating a meetup where the messaging and the photos and the title of the meetup speaks to something that you don't see represented. Sure, there are certain cultures in various cities. San Francisco is very tech friendly, for example. You could say that Austin is very spiritually friendly. You could say that New York is very much so into fashion. Boston is into sports. But let's say that you live in one of these places and you're like, the dominant narrative is not my cup of tea. I'm not reading that book. Then you could even take a cue from a city that you aspire to live in or one that seems interesting, and you could move there. Yeah. Or go ahead and just try putting something online. Anyone these days can put something on Eventbrite and do a little low-key marketing, join some Facebook groups in your area, and share whatever meetup you create and just see who's attracted with an open mind. All right, that's all I have for you for now. Wishing you a beautiful day. Until next time.